It's said that travel broadens the mind. And this is because the understanding is that when you travel, you encounter different ways of doing things, and it confronts you with yourself. You have to adjust. So it broadens the mind in terms of your own self-understanding. I'm not so sure how true this is nowadays, because when you go off to a foreign country, there's usually a tourist trail that you follow, which somehow keeps the country that you're travelling in at a nice safe arm's length. Now we're travelling through the Yoga Vasishtha, and as you travel through the Yoga Vasishtha, you try to get it to make sense. You want to bring it into your framework of thinking. But this isn't possible unless you've just got a tourist trail mentality. You have to adjust. You have to adjust yourself. You have to broaden your mind. You have to broaden it to the point that it's unrecognisable. And it's this kind of dynamic that we've got in chapter 178. Rama here's got the role of the tourist. And in particular, the tourist who wants to make everything fit in to a certain level of thinking. So Rama, in the previous chapter, he was asking about causality. And in this chapter, we've got the mind-body problem. How does the insubstantial mind affect the physical body? So this is the conventional philosophical approach. Here Rama has taken the role of the ordinary philosopher type person, trying to bring the teachings of the Yoga Vasishtha into their purview, into their way of looking at things. This can never work, but depending on the openness of the traveller, it's sometimes quite good to try to answer their questions on an intellectual level so that they can then move on and perhaps start asking things on a deeper level. And this is the beginning of the process of inquiry. And perhaps at some point they reach that critical point whereby a change happens. It's an involuntary change. You come right up against the wall of your own beliefs, your own posture, your own rigid posture with regard to existence. And then it softens, and a new understanding dawns. Ram said, "Lord, there are substances in this world which are divisible and which are indivisible. The divisible ones collide with one another, and the indivisible ones do not so collide with one another. For instance, one sees the moon, and in a manner of speaking, the eyesight strikes the moon without dividing it or touching it." I am asking this question from the point of view of the unawakened person. Who is it that governs the inhalation and the exhalation of the life breath in the body? The body is solid and it offers resistance. What is that force which is subtle and which has no resistance in itself, yet which is able to move the body? If that which is subtle and non-resistant can act on the solid and resistant substance, then why can one not move a mountain by the power of thought alone? The ancient Greeks believed that sight operates by something going from the eyes and hitting the object of perception. It seems that the ancient Hindus believed this as well. And there might be some truth in that actually, but never mind. So if you're looking at the moon, there's something from the eyes going to the moon, and the moon is untouched by it. The moon is indivisible. So there are these things which seem solid, like the body, and yet the mind can control it. How can I give a thought to my physical body and it does this? How can I control my body with simply my thought? And of course, by contemplating such a question, the possibility arises, well, why can we not control things at a distance with our mind? Why can we not move a mountain by the power of thought alone? Vasishtha said, the life breath enters the body and leaves it during inhalation and exhalation, when the subtle nerve force which rests in the heart expands and contracts like the bellows of the blacksmith. So Vasishtha is just simply giving the conventional understanding of breathing. Rama said, in the case of the bellows of the blacksmith, it is the blacksmith who operates them. What is it that makes the nadi in the heart thus expand and contract? Vasishtha said, just as the blacksmith makes the bellows expand and contract in this world, there is an inner consciousness which makes all the inner organs function in the body. It is on account of this that everyone lives and functions in this world again. So it's like Vasishtha's not getting the question, or perhaps he's just ignoring it. Rama asked again, but the body and all its constituents are solid. How does the subtle consciousness move them? For there is no contact between the solid and the subtle. Vasishtha said, listen to this teaching which uproots the whole tree of doubt. There is nothing solid and resistant in this world. All things everywhere are forever subtle and non-resistant. All this is pure consciousness which experiences these apparent solid substances as one experiences dream objects. Earth, water, wind, space, the mountains and the oceans, etc. are all subtle consciousness only. Even so are the mind and all the rest of the inner instruments. I suppose the question then is, well, how come we can control some of these subtle elements and not the others? We really have to understand the notion of control. It's one of the fundamental discriminations that we make, on which we base our ego sense. In this connection I shall narrate to you an ancient legend. I have already narrated the same story to you in another context. Listening to it, you will realize that all that you see here is pure consciousness and nothing else. So this is the point. If you really have had your understanding broadened by the Yoga Vasishtha, if you've had to open yourself up, if you see where the Yoga Vasishtha is coming from, then no philosophical problems remain. There's the one grand unified mystery which we have immediate access to. All mysteries dissolve into the one grand unified mystery which we have immediate access to and which we can abide in